Hello Taurus, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we are doing your love predictions for the dates between February 7th all the way through March 4th. This is going to apply to Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, and before I get into the reading, I just want to say very quickly that this is a general reading. It's not going to apply to everyone, and that is okay. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest that doesn't. Use your discernment, your critical thinking, all of that sort of stuff, okay? While watching this video, take it all with a grain of salt, and most of all, enjoy yourself. Drink some water or some juice while you're watching this, or whatever it is that you have nearby. And have a snack if you want, or if you're watching this for breakfast, have some breakfast. I don't know. I don't know your life. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm using the Spacious Tarot. I'll be linking it down below if you are interested in checking it out. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so what's going on for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus from February 7th through March 4th in their love life. What's going on for Taurus in their love life? What's going on for Taurus in their love life? Oops, that was way too many cards. What's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus between February 7th through March 4th? What's going on in their love life? Okay, so two cards are out. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles reversed for your love life. So let's see. Okay, so we have the Star here, which is Aquarius energy. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, although this is more so, to me, talking about hope and faith. And putting kind of faith into the universe rather than taking things into your own hands, but just being patient and knowing that it'll all come together. We have the Eight of Wands reversed. We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, like I said, or the Explorer of Pentacles reversed. We have the Seven of Wands reversed. Oh my god, I knew it had to be this. Okay. We have the Five of Swords, and we have the Three of Cups reversed. At the bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So having the Wheel of Fortune as the overall energy of this love reading, I really feel... Having the Wheel of Fortune reversed, or not reversed, but upright, having it here at the bottom of the deck, I feel kind of really suggests of the like way that life goes in terms of like ebb and flow, and how sometimes we feel like we are at the top of the wheel, and we feel successful, and we feel happy, and we feel like we are on top of the world. And there are other times when we are at the bottom of the wheel, and we might feel a little bit out of control. We might feel a little bit pessimistic. You know, we might feel that things aren't necessarily going our way, And it's not because the world is punishing us or anything like that. It's just the fact that, like, that's just how the wheel turns. You know what I'm saying? Every wheel goes around and it goes around, you know. There's no preventing the ups and the downs. There's no preventing the plateaus or anything like that. It's all just a cycle. And I feel like that's kind of what you are experiencing right now, is just like a cycle. That's really what you are going through. Where, you know, some of you might be feeling like you're at an all-time high. Some of you might be feeling like you are a bit at a low, or maybe you feel as though you are at a plateau. Whatever it is, this to me just shows like that overall energy of like that cyclical sort of thing. And with that being said, we also have the star, which to me talks about having faith and trust in the universe and knowing that everything is going to be okay. So for some of you, you might be aware of this cyclical energy going on here with this Wheel of Fortune, and you might be okay with that. And you're like, you know what? It happens. I can't be in control of that. That is not in my control, but I trust in the universe, and I know that I will be at that top of the wheel once again, because I've been at the top before. So why would this be the last time that I am on top of that wheel? You know, and I feel like the star is just kind of encouraging you to continue following your North Star, to continue following your aspirations, and to continue to focus on your goals, no matter what low you reach in your life, and no matter what obstacles stand in your way. And I feel with the star, there might be some form of breakthrough coming for you, or you might you might have some sort of breakthrough or epiphany, or kind of like an emotional understanding, or like a eureka moment, I guess you could say, in terms of what's going on and your goals and how to pursue them and what you need to do and things like that. And in terms of love, it could be that maybe some of you just need to have a little bit of faith. Maybe you and your partner have reached a little bit of a rough patch, and I feel like the star is saying not only to have faith and trust in the universe that everything will be fine and that you will be able to solve things with this person, but I also feel like the star is kind of a kind reminder that this relationship, this dynamic isn't everything, right? It is not the sole purpose of your life. You are not on here just for this person or for these people in general. Continue following your own North Star while, you know, focusing on this relationship, but don't make it a top priority in the sense that you disregard everything else in your life for this person or this relationship, whatever it is, you know? I also feel that with the star, it could be that for some of you, maybe you are placing too much faith in the universe and like kind of expecting the universe to fix everything up without you having to put a lot of effort in which case I would be mindful of that, because with the Seven of Wands reversed, this to me talks about very minimal effort on your end or perhaps on the other person's end. Whoever this is, with the Seven of Wands reversed and then the Knight of Pentacles reversed, this to me feels like impatience and inconsistency, and it feels like wanting to give up at the face of opposition. At the face of any sort of opposition, especially with the Seven of Wands reversed. And having the Seven of Wands reversed really tells me like you might be really putting in the most bare minimum of effort within this dynamic and saying, well, I tried, you know, like I did something, you know, and if it's not working out, then I might as well just give up now. And it's like, relationships aren't supposed to be like this. You know, you can't be entirely putting your faith in the universe like that and thinking, well, the universe is going to handle it. God is going to handle it. Whatever you believe in is going to handle it. And everything is going to be fine. I don't have to lift a finger. I don't have to really push myself, you know? Like, if I really want this, then they'll just stay. If I really want this, then everything will work out. Yeah, sure. It might work out if you extend an equal amount of effort. It shouldn't be just this one person putting in the effort, or you expecting everything to magically fall into place without even lifting a finger, because that's just not how that works. That's kind of an unrealistic expectation. So I feel that on your end, there might be a lot of impatience, inconsistency, and like being very hot and cold. And with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, I just see someone who, and like with both of these cards, I just see someone like checking in to work for like an hour or something. And then they're like, okay, well, I've done enough work, bye. And really, they didn't do a lot of work. They didn't do much, right? There wasn't a lot of effort done. There wasn't a lot of work done. There wasn't any sort of progress at the end of the day, is what it feels like with this. Sorry, I'm looking at my window. There's people. There's no progress. So like, what are you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that you are willing to do? And with this 8 of Wands reverse, this to me kind of talks about a halt in progress within this relationship. And I feel like a lot of this halt in progress has a lot to do with this whole thing of you being very inconsistent, or you being very hot and cold, or like you giving up very easily, you giving up at any face of opposition. And I feel that maybe for some of you, this might be something that, like, there might be some sort of fear of commitment for whatever reason that might be. Like, I feel that maybe some of you might be trying to find excuses to not commit entirely to this person, or, you know, you want to say that you put in effort, and it's like you're trying to make it seem as if you put a lot when really you didn't. And you're just trying to play it off like you really cared, or you did put your best foot forward, but really it doesn't seem like you put your best foot forward. And I have the 5 of Swords here, which to me talks about like petty drama and petty victories, empty victories, you know. So let's say you did put in a lot of effort, or no, like let's say you did put in effort, but it wasn't a lot, right? So at what cost are you willing to basically, I don't know, like I don't want to say like lose this relationship, but like at what cost are, like how far are you willing to go to not put your best foot forward in this relationship dynamic? How far are you willing to go to say that you care, or to say that you have been working hard for this person, even though you really haven't? Like, how far are you willing to like almost lie to yourself that you have been just like putting in the work into this relationship? You know, I feel like that's kind of a question that you might need to reflect on. And with this 5 of Swords, it's like, yes, the vulture won. The little vulture here won, but at what cost? At what cost was it? And was that cost really worth it? Because at the end of the day now, he like that vulture is in the snow alone. There's no one else around him. Now he's isolated. And for some of you, this 5 of Swords can signify you being overly critical, and you kind of just like picking at 4 reasons to not be there. And I have to ask you, why do you not want to be there? If you don't want to be there, then why don't you be direct about it? Why not directly just say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this anymore. I think we should go our separate ways. Why does it have to get to the point of you criticizing them, or you picking like petty fights, or you like having these empty victories, or you just dragging things out, hoping that they end things with you? Like, why does it have to get to that level? Why does it have to get to this level of conflict and of tension and of discomfort in order for you to like really make a move, or to really realize what you do want or what you don't want in this relationship? And I have the 3 of Cups reversed, which to me kind of talks about maybe someone feeling left out, or this to me talks about With the Five of Swords, I feel like this just talks about like petty arguments and rumors and gossip and that sort of thing. Maybe for some of you, it could be that you already have your eye on someone else, which isn't to say like, I mean, I don't know how involved you are with this person, but maybe like you are so incredibly, you are just already emotionally disconnected from this relationship, right? Maybe you are already emotionally disconnected and you have your eye on someone else and you, like, someone else has piqued your interest, in which case, what is the point in dragging this whole thing out with this one person when you are clearly interested in someone else? Are you trying to have the best of both worlds, or are you just too comfortable with where you are and too complacent with your current circumstances that you're like, well, you know, this isn't the worst relationship I've been in, but it's not super bad, so I might as well just stay, and if someone else piques my interest, then I'll just watch from afar, or I'll talk to them from afar, and perhaps, you know, some boundaries might be blurred, but I won't go so far because I have self-control. Whatever this is, if someone else has piqued your interest, why stay somewhere that you clearly haven't been putting in your best foot forward? Like, if you are having this energy of putting in the bare minimum and saying that you put in a lot, if you have this energy of literally running away at the face of any sort of opposition, any sort of obstacle, any sort of issue, and if you have been having the energy of thinking that the universe is just going to handle all of it and you don't have to lift a finger, if you literally know that there is a halt in progress and you haven't made any sort of initiative to make it better or to address the issue because of your inconsistency and like wanting to give up and wanting instant gratification, then why are you there? Honestly, because if you are honestly and truly not happy, if you already have your eyes on someone else, what's the point? You're wasting your own time and you're wasting the other person's time. So what gives, honestly? I see you needing to be very realistic with yourself, Taurus. And I think that you really need to analyze and address whatever is going on with you and ask yourself why you are staying in this relationship, and do you have to be in this relationship? And if no one is like forcing you, or if no one is like really pushing you to be in this relationship, like if there's no reason why you should stay, and if no one is like forcing your hand at anything, then there really shouldn't be anything holding you back. Obviously, we have individual circumstances. You know, we all have different experiences and whatnot. But I'm saying, like, if there's really nothing holding you back here, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Tauruses do this. I've seen it so many times before, where someone would just like stay in a relationship even though they're not happy, but they're so comfortable that they just like stick to it, and they're like, okay, you know what, it'll be fine, like the universe will handle it, you know. And it's like a blind faith, but no effort is really put in on their part or even on their partner's part. So let's see what advice we can give you as to how to handle this, all right? Because this is ridiculous. All right, so what advice can we give Taurus in their love life? What advice can we give Taurus for their love life between February 7th through March 4th? All right. Okay. So we have the Sun reversed. All right. So Leo energy. We have the Nine of Wands. We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So, advice that we can give you today. I feel like the Sun reversed really suggests to step out of any childish behavior that you are playing into. Any sort of behavior that's just really immature. Or maybe if you have been very pessimistic about your relationship, and if you genuinely want things to work out between you and this other person, you need to start looking at things with a glass half full mentality rather than having a cloud looming over your head, because that pessimistic mentality isn't going to help you. If you already decided in your mind that the relationship is doomed, and if you still continue to stay, then you are only going to end up manifesting that, because what you think is your reality. So if you think that the relationship isn't working out and that you're not happy, then you're not going to be happy. But if you are willing to put your best foot forward, there has to be a change in mindset and in approach to things, okay? The Nine of Wands to me talks about resilience. This to me really talks about how you need to be putting in your best foot forward. You need to be putting in more effort. You need to have a form of resilience and perseverance in the situation if you want things to work out, because it's not going to fall into your lap. This sort of happiness or contentedness that you want in this relationship is not going to fall into your lap unless you put in the work and effort, okay? Relationships aren't always going to be easy. There always has to be work put in on both ends, all right? And if you are not willing to put in effort, why should the other person be putting in effort? It has to be 50-50. And I just feel like it's really entirely up to you how things end up going, okay? You can either close yourself off and no longer put in the effort. That's fine. You can leave. That's fine. But also don't drag things along just because you're comfortable, or just because, you know, like you have, I don't know, like you just got used to things. That's just not fair. And then we have the Nine of Swords, which is really interesting, which talks about like anxiety and you overthinking and creating hypothetical scenarios, irrational thinking, whatever this is. I think meditation is really going to help you to overcome that and to become a lot more present. I don't know why you might be overthinking. That's really interesting that this card came out, but with this Nine of Swords, I really feel like this is saying that you have the ability, you have the capabilities to push yourself out of this anxious thinking. You have the capability to decrease or even completely cut out this irrational thinking and to put yourself in a much more grounded state. Again, through meditation or through yoga or whatever it is that makes you feel a lot more present, that things that make you feel calm. Maybe talking to someone else in your life would help you see things in a lot more realistic manner. Whatever this is, I really feel like that would be really important for you to remain present and to not get so caught up in the irrational thinking and in the scenarios that you end up creating in your head. And maybe that's what stops you from like leaving or from creating a better reality in your life. So I think addressing that and finding ways to calm it down and finding ways to even reflect on it and why you think this way would be incredibly helpful for you. And I think it would lead to some form of progress. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope it resonates. I hope it was helpful in some way. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear any and all of your feedback. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone else who needs to hear this message. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. If you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. Any other information that you need to know will be in the description box, so if you want to, go ahead and check it out. If not, that's fine. And with that being said, I will talk to you later. Bye.